Hey, welcome to Hashtag Winnie. This is a place where we help you unravel social constructs, discuss self-development in line with mental health, emotional well-being, and everything in between that directly or indirectly affects us in the millennial world around us. If you're hearing my voice for the first time and are the kind of person who is not scared of being a better version of yourself, even if it requires you to contradict who you were 24 hours ago, consider this your virtual home. I am your host, Navgozichwanuka, a lawyer, founder, team lead of Equate Foundation, an addict and lover of insightful conversations, and a professional unraveler of social constructs. On this beautiful Wednesday, the one and only Natsite Winnie accepted to feature on our platform. Professionally, Natsite is a teacher, and as an entrepreneur, she is the godmother of KiLEMBA. She has mastered the different styles of head wraps, and I can assure you it is safe to call her a wonder maker of head wraps. From Muganda that I am, I often pronounce KiLEMBA as KiLEMBA, because in Luganda, a Kiremba is a turban, and it was until we became friends that she corrected me. Hers was an inspiration drawn from Swahili, and yes, it has the same meaning as the Luganda one. Natsite and I do really get silly. 70% of the time we are together, 70% of the time we are, or even 90% of the time we are interacting. So expect a lot of cackling in the episode. Let's get into it.
Okay. There we go.
Natsite.
Yeah.
Welcome to Hashtag.
Good to
aunt?
see you again.
My dear, my nieces are not as old as you are.
Sister. Daughter Nabu.
You can't deliver me, my friend.
Hey, great.
You cannot.
Joking. I was actually telling a few friends of mine that when I see kids, I don't know, like, which kids win? You're a kid.
That's fired.
I know, right? I was telling them about my students, and then they're like, which kids winning? You're a kid. You're calling your colleagues kids.
Your colleagues. The disrespect.
Yeah. Such disrespect. Imagine.
So welcome to Hashtag Winnie.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Happy New Year, my friend.
Up to when? I recently had
Whoa,
someone asking
this is
you
fair.
about that. One of the guests.
This is fair.
Yeah, like how long does no? But in Africa, I think we go on up to, I don't know.
Maybe like the 4th month.
Even
maybe the 3rd.
Even May, you can. I think up to the whole, like, half of the year, you can still. Say
half of the year is valid.
Yeah.
Half of the year is valid.
Happy
It's just
New
6
Year.
months.
Happy
How many
New Year.
days are those? 30 times 6, 180.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's not 180. That is poor math. It can't be 180.
Maths. I'm telling you, maths. Okay, can you say?
Wait, it can be 180.
3.
But I think it is.
No, wait.
It is, because 3 months is 90 days.
Oh, mama. PCM. Did you?
Wait. No way. Head at. Happy New Year and welcome to the podcast. We're really humbled and grateful for your presence.
I'm glad to be
Help
here.
us understand who is this person starting the podcast like this. Help us understand who Natsite is.
Natsite, I am a teacher, a lover of fashion, and what else can I say about myself? Feels like an interview. It reminds me of the many times I had interviews. Like, you go to this job interview and they're like, tell us about yourself. And sometimes you're like, okay. Sometimes I feel like clapping, like, what do you want to know?
It's okay to laugh, I think.
Yeah.
I think people like natural people.
Yeah. Instead of all going to someplace and you're so serious. Actually,
I wouldn't want to be in such an environment.
No.
I want to deal with human beings.
Not robots programmed to say something. You have to say this and that.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm a lover of fashion and I am a teacher.
Right. Because we had you in the beginning talking about your students.
Yeah,
the
and then
kids.
the kids.
So how do you balance this? How do you come to this place of balancing teaching and fashion loving?
I keep saying this. I think that actually the teaching profession is one of those that give you time to do very many other things.
Is it?
Yeah, I actually had someone say that if you want a good woman, marry a teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, someone
How
said
does
that.
that work? How does that work? Help us understand.
Someone said when
You
you
might
marry,
get married this year.
yeah, like cause you, who?
You.
Me. Hey!
People might get the benefits and they're like,
my
I'm
God.
taking
And
her.
then I get proposals
Straight away.
here and there.
Straight away.
Guys,
you
bring
guys will
them-
have to find the
bring them
podcast.
in.
You have to bring half of your contribution to the
So the
podcast.
argument was
Uh-huh.
a teacher goes to school maybe like at around 8 a.m. and then maybe by 5 they're back, and then they have weekends, holidays, like time to bond with the family. That's what someone said about that.
Is that so?
That's what someone said.
But if you're talking
it
about
makes
8 to
sense.
5, someone else also goes
I
to
think,
8 to
yeah,
5.
because other people still do that. But then they're talking about public holidays. They're talking about holidays, like school holidays.
Oh. But that, okay.
But now
is that really
those-
long? That's just like
No.
2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and now with this COVID, it has gone down like to 3 weeks or to some of them.
So you guys get time for extracurricular duties.
Yeah, so I've used that to my advantage to do the things I love, like fashion.
So it's actually true. You have time.
That's why I'm here. I've got time to do this.
It's a weekend, my friend. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but at least we have time. You know how long I've been in Kampala?
Well, how do we know? You might be absconding from duty.
No. No, I got some time off. Yeah, so I use that opportunity of having time off work, because usually I teach either 3 to 4 days a week, and then the rest of the days I concentrate on my business, which is a bit of fashion.
Right.
KiLEMBA. I think you've heard about it.
I know KiLEMBA. What are you talking about? I'm hoping you're asking the listeners, not me. I know KiLEMBA. What are you talking
Because
about?
it's what brought me here. But
From the start, that's what got you to me. I don't have a kid to give you to teach. What are you talking about?
it's KiLEMBA.
It's KiLEMBA. So how did you come to the place of KiLEMBA? Because we're seeing you in a teaching profession. Is this something that you wanted to do while growing up?
Nope. KiLEMBA is something
What did
I
you
just
want?
learned.
What did you want from the
A
beginning?
lot of things. A lot of things. The first thing I ever wanted was, guys, you're not going to believe this, but I wanted to be, you know, those days we used to call them house girls. Yeah.
Why?
I think it's because of a girl that was in our house. She was. Her name was Irene. By the one of my other name is Irene. That people. Now some people are going to start calling me that. Yeah. So we had this girl, Irene. She was very beautiful, very very beautiful, and she was a cousin. But then at times she would go work as a maid in people's homes, and then when she comes back for Christmas, she comes back all loaded with money.
Oh yeah.
I was actually in P4 then. She'd come back home with money, new clothes, all looking good.
Yeah.
And then I told Mom, I'm like, Mom, you know what?
Where was she getting the money from? If she was just going to the village.
From her work. Because she used to work, like leave home, go work.
Oh.
And after a few months, she comes back to stay with us.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yes.
okay, okay,
So
okay, okay.
That's how I learned. That's how I learned about that kind of work.
Right.
So I told Mom that I wanted to be a house girl, the new school year. And then, of course, I looked up to Irene so much.
Yeah.
Because,
So you got to ask her where she gets the money from.
she
told you I'm a
gets
house
rice.
girl.
And then, of course, she could tell me.
Was it from like a place of pride when she was telling you that? Oh yeah?
Yeah, because I think she enjoyed her job. It's unfortunate that she died at some point, but before that whole incident. So I told Mom that I'd wanted to become a house girl, and she was like, "You stop being stupid.
Oh, she
you know what
said
you're
that.
talking about."
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom, I stay with that. You can stay home and just watch TV.
Get paid.
Yeah, and get paid. So like, the things of going to work happen.
How old were you at that time?
I think I was around 10 or
10.
something.
Did you have a housemaid by that time?
No, we didn't. But
you
we
didn't
had,
have
yeah, but we
one.
had cousins also, like who would come. Like Erin.
Yeah.
Before she got her job as a maid, she was working. I mean, she was staying with us, and of course not going to school, just working, helping Mom with work. So the new school year started, and then I started dodging school. And then
that's like what class?
Like now P5, around P5. Yeah, I started dodging school, and then there's this one time, Mom beat my ass. Okay, am I supposed to start?
Is it there?
Yeah, my mom beat me from home up to school, and then I had these wounds. That there's that disease that kids suffered some time back. I don't know if
what kind of disease.
Like I don't know. I can't find the right word to describe it, but wounds on the head.
And those like ringworms?
No, not ringworms. There's some other thing. I don't know if it was. It can't be dandruff.
I know them to be ringworms.
Nope. Ringworms always like on the back.
No, there are ringworms on the scalp.
Really?
Yeah. There are a couple of kids that had that.
Oh yeah, so I had those, and then Mom beat me up to school. And then when you go to school, the teachers also had to punish me for that, for dodging school.
That's a lot. Like your parent already did the work. Why would they add?
Then they talked to me, and then later on, when I got back home.
Who talked to you?
And then when I got back home.
Who talked to you?
The teachers.
Like how exactly?
Like, you can't do this. You need to look at other professions.
Wait, so your mom went on and told them that she wanted to be a house girl?
Yeah. So later on, when I came back home, Dad, she had also reported me to Dad. So Dad talked to me as well.
About your want of being a house girl. What did they tell you at that time?
They told me that it's not good, that it means you haven't gone to school, you're just going to, people are going to use you to like work at their places, and you won't get a lot of money that you think this person is earning. Then even my grandfather, maternal grandfather, he also talked to me about it.
It was a whole family.
Yeah, the whole
it was a clan engagement.
Yeah, like this guy is getting spent.
They raised
what's happening to this girl?
They raised the alarm.
So he also talked to me. May his soul rest in peace. It was so good, and he told me, "No, Winnie, you can't." He used to call me Amina. He told me, "Amina, you can't do this because you're not going to get anything." So they kept on counseling me and telling me about other things I could do. So now of all the things they told me about, I got to know that you can be an actress, you can be a dancer. Now I started watching Jennifer Lopez. I'm like, I want to be that.
They actually told you that you can be a dancer?
Yeah, they told me about that as well.
A dancer?
No, they told me about acting.
Acting?
Yeah, because I used to have like Sunday school. We used to go to Sunday school, sing, dance, and then act out a few skits. And that's how I learned about that acting. So I started watching movies, and I saw, isn't this the same woman I saw in this movie? She's dancing. So I'm like, I want to be like Jennifer Lopez. I idolized her so much. So I grew, like, I kept on studying, and then at one point I wanted to become an accountant. So now when I started getting
that's
some
like what
sense,
what
like some, now like real sense. That was this childish sense. So
what age are we looking at?
Secondary level. Yeah, like senior one.
You can't believe I had never heard of an accountant at that time.
Really?
Okay, I did hear about an accountant. Like, I think I was in P6 at that time, because when I was in school, I used to look at my friends' parents. Because me, I didn't want to be in that cycle of brokenness. I have friends. So when I would see my friends, I'm like, for me to break this cycle, please, what does your parent do? Because I see them bringing them in cars, and the kids are actually proud. I was like, so what does your parent do? Like accountant. I'm like, hey, I've never heard that word. Yeah. I just knew doctors and nurses.
So, I got to learn about accountant from school, and then when I asked Dad about his dad, grandpa, he told me that he had been an accountant at BCU, something for coffee.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, cooperative union. Yeah, so he told me about that he had been an accountant, and then one of my aunties was an accountant as well. So that's how when we went to school, they told me about that. Then they were telling us about maths. What?
Yeah.
Then I was like, manage maths of secondary is not like the one of primary.
I mean, you could not even count the 6 months times 3.
And yeah. Yeah. So I was like, no.
Yeah.
So I got to start loving fine art and literature. And then the teachers really loved me. There's this teacher, I had teachers of, actually most teachers loved me. I was one of the favorite kids. So teacher of Swahili loved me so much.
Yeah.
French, fine art, literature. Oh my God, literature was I was the teacher's favorite.
Right.
And I was in a girls' school then for my O level. So girls, of course, you know what happened in school. Like, hey, we need to even give her free marks.
Hey, the teacher was male.
Hey, most of them were male. It's only the Swahili teacher who was female.
Right.
Fine art.
They say they were giving you free marks.
They're
that
giving.
Was weird.
Like around sneer too.
So they didn't even see you for your goodness with your marks?
No, not at all. Then English.
I'm so lucky I didn't have that. Because you know what happened? Like why I'm saying that? Because I'm looking at myself, that the class that I used to head a lot in my O level was the French class. Meanwhile, this is me switching from Luganda to a French. Because in senior one we had to choose the languages. We couldn't do both. You could either do Luganda or French. So this was a chance for me to speak Luganda. Meanwhile, when I joined the school, I was sort of really avoiding kids from bullying me. From primary school, I had been bullied because of the way how I speak English. So I was like, to break the continuance of this bullying, I'm going to speak Luganda wherever I go. So when I joined the school, when I joined Zambia, St. Joseph's Girls, I told kids, I don't know English. I come from St. Teresa, Rwanda. Now, how do I come to choose that school? Oh, excuse me. When those kids came to join for oh my God, I was going to say moot is low. When those kids came for quiz, quiz, they could not articulate themselves in English. So I was like, I come from that school. And there were so many times when the head prefect at that time found me speaking Luganda, and I was like, now how do I help myself? Because anytime now I'm going to get punished. So I stepped aside with her and I explained. I was like, see, I come from St. Teresa, Rwanda. And you see, even for the exams, they had to first explain for us in Luganda for us to figure out how to answer the questions. So she was like, oh yeah, I'm going to talk to the cabinet. We're going to... Friend, I spoke Luganda first term. And I couldn't choose any other language, so I chose Luganda. But now when I returned home, I was boasting to my brother. I was like, see, Luganda, French, see my marks. So he got my paper. He was like, you need to do French. Now he is good at French. To death. He loves the language. So he looked at my paper. I was like, they gave you free marks. You see this? You wrote it wrongly. You were supposed to write it like this. You see this? It is going to get harder for you. Luganda is really hard. It is better you choose French. So the following term, friend, I entered the French class with my fake French. Fake French. And by the end of the term, I was stopping the class. So from that time until they switched the teachers, I was topping the French class. Like it was obvious.
Teachers really affects.
No, that guy was too good. Too good to a point that even when he was leaving the school, he didn't tell anyone. We just go to the school and we're seeing a different teacher. And all of us are like, what is going on? Where is Mr. Kasaija?
I think so many people dropped it.
No, I did follow up, but I saw my grades dropping. While I used to, because the teacher that was switched up, Jesus Christ, he used to pick his nose when he would speak, saliva is coming out. The person who used to sit at the front and engage with teachers, for me now, the whole of the class, the whole of the period or lesson, we're like, what is this guy doing? Why are you picking your nose? why is saliva coming out of your mouth? You know, that kind of thing.
And then at the end of the day,
so I came
attention.
from being at the front and arguing with my French teacher to being the very last person.
Yeah.
And now that guy really had a rough time with me. I was never attentive.
Yeah,
I was now my crazy beat. I was already crazy, but I was already serious in the French class. Like, I had to ace this. Another guy saw the other side of me, to a point that when the first results came out, he read out Nabuguzi. So he read out Nabuguzi. I put up my hand. So I put up my hand because I'm a problem in his class. He looked at the marks. Then he hit the paper. And he was like, "Where's Nabuguzi?" And people were like, "She's the one." He thought I was disturbing him again.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Oh my God.
He thought I was still playing with him. Like that's how then he was like, "Hey, your marks are good, but you're very disorganized."
Yeah. I think I've experienced that too.
But still, like I think that was the very last time. The rest of the classes that went ahead, I just backslid. Like my marks were terrible.
So,
but there was no chance that people. Or maybe I just didn't hear. There was no moment when I heard things like she's getting free marks. I didn't get that.
No, I got that a lot. But then later on, I had to choose because it was very hard. By the way, it was very hard for me. And then teachers would call me, you do my subject. But teachers have that tendency. They do it a lot.
Really?
Yeah, they know how to pick out the bright students to do their subjects, because at the end of the day, especially teachers in private schools, they get questioned about the marks at the end of the 4 years. So they tend to pick up the bright students and tell them, please do my subject.
No.
Yes, they do that a lot. And I got it. So,
like, is that just in your... Did you only see that in your school?
No, I see it even right now as a teacher. I see it.
You're kidding.
That's it.
You're sort of confirming my suspicions. You're sort of confirming my suspicions.
Yeah, teachers do that. So, I don't know. But it's very bad, because then you don't give the learner to choose what they want.
That's strange.
It's strange.
Why would they do that?
It's actually like home. How a parent tells you to do a particular subject because they want you to. Because they want you to fall under some field.
That's a whole lot of insecurities.
Yeah, it's very bad. So when I was in senior 2, I got so confused. So meanwhile, I wanted to become an accountant, but then I was still participating in dance and drama.
Weren't you scared of math already? I thought we had already dropped that since math was hard.
The math? Yeah, it was. Let me get to that. So there's this time I was before the senior 2, because the senior 2, third time is when you get to choose the subjects. So before that, I was participating in drama, dance. I used to dance a lot, like weekends when we had entertainment.
You would wiggle.
Go and wiggle.
Wiggle.
Bounce. Mr. DJ. Oh my God, we used to dance. And say money. Right. Blue 3. Yes. Oh my God, we used to mime at that a lot. So when I got senior 2 that term, that's when I had to choose, and I weighed myself and realized I couldn't be the accountant I wanted because of the maths. So I picked on literature.
Serious?
So I picked on...
You already knew.
I'm a teacher's child. Duh.
No, like... when I was choosing my optionals at that time, okay, maybe because I was very sure that I was supposed to be a doctor. So when it came to the optionals, I was not even thinking about what I wanted to do. I don't even think we had that guidance that you have to choose something based on what you want to be in future. We didn't get that. Like it was not even a place of. It was more like, what can you do, and then you just choose, because there were categories in which different subjects were placed. And you know what, that point when I was like, you're confirming my suspicions. Just recently I was talking about how I couldn't choose art. I chose French because French and art were in the same category, and then all of a sudden the categories got separated. So that's why I'm like, you're confirming my suspicions. I have a feeling maybe the art teacher was like, no, you guys are going to switch these. so that I could. I'm just thinking that. Yeah, I feel like I suspected
like,
that.
maybe
So when you
did
said that, because they didn't come to me directly, but then just out of the blue, categories got switched.
I think also some of the schools, they tend to put all those in categories, and also sometimes it's the UNEB timetable. Because, there's a time you're supposed to do maybe literature, and it's the same time you're supposed to do maybe French. I think the time I did exam, it was like that. And actually, that's how I dropped French and Swahili and took on literature.
Right.
Then I also took on fine art. Yeah. And I was confused on whether to take on CRE or commerce, because a little bit of me was still like convinced I would.
Wasn't CRE was compulsory?
No, it wasn't. It's not compulsory by
the way. It was compulsory in my school.
Okay, in your school. So this is what happened. I went and asked.
They duped us. They duped us.
So I went to the doors.
Yeah.
I asked him, sir, is CRE compulsory? And he said no. And that year, I was the only student not doing CRE. So I was some kind of alien.
You beat the system.
Like, what's wrong with this, Winnie? You guess.
Guys duped us into studying religion.
Yeah, by the way, so many schools do that. It's not compulsory. It's an optional subject.
What?
It's an optional subject.
So where's the 6 and 6 of Amanya? 8 and 8 and 10 and 10?
It was 8.
So which is the 8th?
It's always, because it's always 7.
We had
and
8.
then you had to choose
3.
You have to choose 3. Yeah.
Hey, that's what duped us now.
Yeah, the 7 are compulsory. Then the rest you have to choose.
We had 8 compulsory ones. It's okay. At least I was not duped into doing commerce.
Yeah, so I did that, and so now A level. After seeing how I'd performed, I knew for sure I couldn't do things like Meg or stroke. Then there's PEM, stroke art. So I just went for history, economics, literature, because I really loved literature.
History, economic, hell.
Yeah.
Hell art.
Yeah. So at that point, I really wanted to go to the university and study art in depth. But then. But I was very, very sure about that. But then we had this teacher, a very young teacher. She came, literature, poetry. She came to class in heels, short skirt, long hair.
Short skirt?
Yeah, like she was smart. And I'm like, teachers can be this. And that's how it changed. I'm like, I want to be a teacher. Yeah.
Because of that.
Teacher of English.
So are you wearing short things?
I don't know. You should check. No, but she was so classy. The way she spoke.
Yeah.
She was organized. I'm like, teachers can actually be cool people. We don't have teachers. Like, maybe the one thing that makes students not want to be teachers is the teachers.
Exactly.
Because sometimes we present ourselves very disorganized.
Some are even diabolical.
I see some people even saying teachers are broke.
Are you rich?
Me. Me. Yeah, but anyway, that's how I changed my mind and decided to be a teacher. Because then I was also thinking about where to study, and then my dad, he wasn't doing so well, and he had been struggling with mental health. So I just changed my mind. I'm like, we are many, and I was the first child to leave high school. So that's when I decided that I should actually do education, study from Bale, closer to home, and then maybe finish and help Mzee with the other children.
So you being in this space and balancing KiLEMBA, how did you come to that place? Because you've talked about your love for fashion, but going away from the normal fashion thing that you're tailoring dresses and everything, you're having KiLEMBA running. How did you come to a place of creating KiLEMBA?
So I get to KiLEMBA because of this very profession that I chose, the teaching profession. Because then I was like, okay, let me go to the university, study education, become a teacher, and then I'll do my other things, like maybe study, go back and study fashion, and maybe later on I can have the two running. So I went to IU, and then I was wearing the hijab, Christian girl in a hijab.
Yeah,
it was mandatory for all female students, and we had to stay inside as long as you're single, you're not married. Yeah,
they were picking people's statuses.
Yeah, because then if you're married, you have to have a marriage certificate.
Sure.
Yeah, so if you don't have one, you're staying you're staying at the campus.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how I got to like find ways, because then I didn't have money for hair, and they used to let us get out of the campus to go have prayers on Sunday. So at first I used to plait these dreadlocks, the one that they have Afro kinky.
Yeah.
And then that sometimes they would get really old, and then at the times I would remove them and maybe have bututwa, yeah, or cornrows sometimes. And then I googled, I'm like, how do you style a veil? Different ways of styling. Yeah, different ways of styling a veil. And then I saw ladies, elegant ladies wearing headdress. I'm like, hey, what is this? I need to try this out.
Where did you find that?
First it was Google, and then they directed me to Instagram, and then YouTube.
Which year is this?
Around 2000. Around 2013, 14.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So there's this lady.
Well, that's bright.
Yeah, on Instagram.
I don't think I knew much of searching about fashion.
I think also it's because of the passion I had since I was little.
Yeah.
So I got this lady called Nena Stella. She's in Brooklyn, and she has this very big African wear brand, and it's all about head wraps. So I started following her, and then the tutorials, learned all those. So people, like, Facebook, used to post a lot on Facebook. So people started, oh, nice head wrap. I want that head wrap. So I'm like, how did you wear that? And then I started recording videos without even thinking I'm going to do a business.
Just showing
people how to wear them. Then all of a sudden people are like, where do you get them? Like, I bought from the market. They're like, I want. Then you're like, okay, maybe you should go to the market. Someone, no, I want that particular one. So I'm like, you guys, what you mean? I can make money from you.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's when I started selling head wraps.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have a business page. I was like, I'll sell it through my personal profile, Facebook profile. Then there's a friend who told me, when you need to create a page, then the friends would be like, oh, you can't manage a page. Oh my God, it will take you so long.
Projecting their fears. And
yeah. So I just went ahead and created one. And then I was looking up different ways a head wrap is called, like, in different African languages.
That is creative.
So because I didn't want to have names, because at first I thought of Rap Queen. But then when I googled Rap Queen, Rap Queen, girl. I saw so many pages.
It's not coming.
I saw so many pages. No, I think it's because you're used to, I think it's just because you're used to KiLEMBA. So I saw so many pages under Rap Queen. I'm like, oh, pass.
Yeah. You even went. That is quite clever. For people that are not so much in awareness of clash of business names. They just come up with a name and take that without the imagination that someone else could have.
And then some bit of me was like, I think I need to make it Rap Life. But then there was this lady whom I'd been following. I'm like, wait, what if people find out that I've just copied this name? That would be so bad.
Yeah,
and
it lost
given
the originality.
The fact that I'm doing the same thing. So I actually texted that lady. on Instagram, like, hey, I'm Winnie from Uganda. I love what you do.
The Nena Stella chick.
Yeah, and she responded. She was like, it's good to know someone is inspired by me.
Right.
Please go ahead and just do your business. It's okay. Go ahead with it. And when I was like, hey,
like blessings.
I started posting her.
Right.
And if people be like, Queen, is that you? I'm like, guys, it's not me. You can see it's not me.
Right.
So I tried gele. Gele is the Nigerian way of calling it. Like
I know gele, but the gele is different, really.
It's the big one, like that round. But
huge.
It also falls under head wraps, of course. So
but then the way how it's tied is I don't know. Isn't it complex?
I've not tried to wrap it. I keep on procrastinating about it.
I even feel like it requires different material.
Yeah, it
because
does.
to keep it standing like that.
Yeah, it requires the hard fabric.
When it has starch and
so
everything.
I let that one pass. So I was like, okay, I think I need something either in Lugisu or
good.
Maybe
you're now
Kiswahili.
home.
Yeah,
right.
Now I was thinking Kiswahili runs around this area, like
East
African. So the Lugisu was Hatambala. Then I was also thinking, Luganda the same. I'm like, no, let me just go with KiLEMBA because I think my clients will actually.
So KiLEMBA is a Swahili version of
it's a Swahili
wrap
word for head wrap. So I started doing that. I started doing the business, and then during lockdown, I was still doing it, but I wasn't really serious. So Josephine Karunji,
I remember that pause.
She's like, Queenie, you're not sending me.
So she's your friend.
She's my friend. She's my sister.
Yeah, wait to get a celebrity, my friend. I want to find a celebrity friend.
She's like, Queenie, you're not sending me head wraps. Salons closed. What's wrong with you?
Wow.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I think I need to start sending people head wraps even in Kampala.
So 2020 is when you think about getting the business bigger.
Being very serious about it. Because then I would not even tell people I can deliver. But when she put it out there, I'm like, okay, let me do this.
I saw that post and in my head, I think
you saw the recent one when I made her a robe.
This is the one I saw.
Yeah, but there was another one before that.
That's the one I saw, and I don't think I knew you at that time. Yeah. She must have posted it, and I was like, who is this person? Yeah. I don't know at what point I might have followed you.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden,
I'm like,
we are in my feed all the time. Who is this show?
Who sent who the head the friend request?
It has to be.
So after that,
to be me, I think.
Actually, when I sent her the head wraps, that's when I learned that I can actually do it easily, like send them from Bale to like all parts of the country, because the delivery the courier services because from Gulu and Bale you can always do that, whether it's Tororo or it's Kampala. I found it so easy, and that's how I started delivering and telling people about it, like, guys, I can deliver. And that's how I started doing it.
So the very first time I got to know about KiLEMBA and me finding out that you're in Mbala, I was like, what? Hey.
She brings me the head
very far, So because I also have this imagination that this is the kind of feel that people might have. How did you even come to a place of, because you've explained what it's like, doesn't someone get in the fear of, because I'm sure there are a couple of people like me who hate delivery fees. No! If somebody in Kampala, Central Business, whatever district, CBD, is scared of delivery fees, and then they hear that you're in Mbale, what? That is 20,000 delivery fees.
Yeah, so the delivery fees, I always make it like clear to my clients that if they're buying things above 50,000, I pay for the delivery fees from Bale to Kampala. Then from Kampala, the pickup point, which is at Mega Standard Supermarket, because there's a transport company there.
Right.
So from there to their destination, it's on them. And I haven't had any issue with any client.
Oh yeah.
I think also because of the way I talk to them. Customer care, hire me to do your customer care for the podcast.
And then you do what?
Like, hi, we would like to have a podcast with you on Saturday. Are you coming?
You are hired.
Hey,
You are hired.
give me the appointment later. Yeah.
Con woman.
So I do that. I teach, and then I do the head wrap business, which has different things now. Because with time I've tried to, like, if you're coming to me to buy a head wrap today, what did you buy tomorrow? So I've tried to include in more of the headwear products. Things like headbands, hair bonnets, and scrunchies. Then I have the night robes. Yeah, that's what I've tried to do.
I've mostly seen, I think what really attracts me is the hair bonnets. Excuse you, friend. Are you really only talking about that? There are other things that you do, I believe.
The robe.
No. There's more to that. Are you mad?
I cook.
You cook? Is that in KiLEMBA? Really?
Yeah, so I have the scrunchies in KiLEMBA. I have the headbands,
right,
the hair bonnets, and then the night robes, curtains. I started doing that.
That is where I was pushing you.
Yeah, I do curtains as well, and then I do pillowcases. But some of these products I haven't put them out there.
Why? Why is that? Are you just waiting for something?
Really.
Or you don't feel them?
No, I feel them. I'm still trying to study the market.
Right.
Yeah.
How about you educate us? Because I think people really need to understand the value of using satin pillowcases.
Satin pillowcases and satin hair bonnets help people, the ladies especially.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Wearing
a hair bonnet when they have hair, like the men with
like, okay, wearing a bonnet. Or Tally wearing a bonnet.
Tally. You should wear a hair bonnet and you're like,
Mommy, Tally. Hey. But it's not nice.
Yeah, so they're good for hair. They protect your hair from drying out. And then people, I don't know if you've noticed that sometimes the hair products really spoil your skin. Yeah, so the hair bonnets really help protect your hair from that. I mean, your skin from getting contaminated with the skin products.
Yeah,
and then your hair will stay moisturized. Like you wake up and you're like, okay, this is good. You don't have to oil your hair every day as long as you have the hair bonnet on when you're going to bed.
Yeah. Okay. So in this space of you balancing the KiLEMBA and your teaching profession, how do you take care of your mental health? Have you come to that place of feeling like, hi, my mental health is really tasted?
I've had those days, but what I do most is try to do the things that I love so much, the small things that make me feel proud of myself.
Yeah. The
things that help me realize that I've been hardworking. I should reward myself. Things like going to the salon and doing my nails.
Oh.
Yeah, getting my hair washed, cooking a favorite meal, talking to a friend.
Yeah.
That's how I try to manage to stay sane.
And what are those words that you feel like the listener should walk away with?
Love yourself and always do what you really are comfortable with. Like do what you love. Do not just go around doing things because someone has told you should do that. Do the things that you love, because they will help you to always, sometimes it's what keeps on pushing you, like to keep on doing the things that you do.
It doesn't get hard, like it's natural with you. You just love it.
It gets natural because you love it.
Right. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Thanks for having me.
Giving us your energy. Right from Bali. Hey. The language that you only have to speak with stereo. That's it.
What you lead it?
What's you lead it?
Like, come on.
How do they greet in Posi? Muland.
Call it Natsite.
What's Natsite?
Natsite is a born. Bye. A born.
Imagine. Loving of self seems obvious for many of us. I mean, we're always having hashtag I love myself, or some posts, I love myself. But I can assure you it requires a lot of time to get to that place. Well, it took me time, years actually, to even understand what it meant to love myself. It took me a couple of intentional practices to learn how to love myself. So as Natsite advised, do take time and invest in the practice of loving yourself. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Hashtag Minabguzi Chwanuka. If you loved what you heard, make sure you subscribe to Hashtag Minabguzi Chwanuka in your podcast platform of choice. It could be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Amazon Music. My goodness, there are so many podcast platforms. Wherever you catch your podcast, make sure you look for Hashtag Minabguzi Chwanuka so that you don't miss out on any episode. I mean, some people are going from the beginning so that we don't leave them behind. They're going from the beginning, from episode 1, from episode 1. So if you do not mind starting from episode 1, just go ahead with it. Go, just start so that you don't miss any content. And when I tell you that you will find all the content in your podcast platform of choice, make sure that they are 62 recordings, but 60 episodes, including this one. Feel free to also share your insights about what connected with you in this particular episode, but tag us on social media. We are at Hashtag Minabguzi Chwanuka on Facebook and Instagram, and on Twitter we are at HTNK Podcast. You can also reach us on our email, that is htnk@gmail.com. I really look forward to hearing from you. Ciao. Catch you in the next episode, and until then, love yourself.